all right, people. Welcome. Yes, it's a brand new day. It's a brand new month. Well, we are a few days into the month, but again, we are grateful at least for this day. God has given us yet another opportunity to live, to dream, to believe, to create, and to do so much more. Yeah, I'm really excited, guys, to be here again for this week. Yeah, my name is Benjamin. If you are joining me for the very first time, you're welcome to this channel. This is Mr. Play Color. You can call me Mr. Play Color, but my name is Benjamin David Cheune. I am a photographer based here in Kampala, Uganda. I understand that I have some friends of ours watching from different parts of the world. Yeah, you're most welcome. Oh, Hames Photography. Oh, Hames Photography, following from Obongi, Northern Uganda. Wow. Thank you for joining in. I'm glad to have you here today. Yeah, it's going to be quite an exciting conversation, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts and your ideas, your comments, your questions. Yeah, feel free, please, to use the chat section to leave a message, to send your comment or your insights, anything. Please feel free to share. Yeah, this is going to be an open conversation. Of course, I'm the one on this other side speaking with you guys, but I would love for us to connect in that way. So anytime, just drop in your comment in the chat section. Yeah, of course, for the people who will watch this broadcast afterwards, they will just put comments in the comment section. Yeah, but as of now, so I think I'm going to give it 1 or 2 minutes and then we kick in straight away. Yeah, but the topic is quite hot for today and I really can't wait. The topic is how to deal with clients. I think this is one of the most common issues between clients and service providers. In this case, I'm talking photography. So if you are in the photography business or you're planning to start the photography business, yeah, this is going to be quite interesting because it has so many different perspectives. In fact, yesterday, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, there was an interesting discussion on one of the forums that I happen to be a part of, a forum for other photographers, and we were talking about some of the experiences like we have with clients or customers. It was a really lengthy, but so fun conversation we were having with these guys, talking about all sorts of things. And I really hope some of the other photographers can join in on this broadcast so we can air out all these things. I think one day, maybe when a client lands on this video, then they will learn also something. Yeah, because it's going to help both you, the photographer, I, the photographer, and our dear clients. So I should mention, if you're a client and you're watching this, please, there are some really important tips you're going to pick from here. Otherwise, I'm seeing we have so far we have 2 people who have joined in. Please send a shout out say something, send something, so I can be able to respond right away. Yeah. Yeah, otherwise, Hames Photography, you're welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, so you guys, I am a proud photographer. I am really happy. I love my job. I love what I do. I've been doing this for close to coming to 10 years. Yeah, I mean professionally, but commercially it's coming to 4 years, I think, commercially. But what I mean by that is when I started my company, Play Color Limited, which I call Play Color Media. It's now like coming to 4 years. Yeah, but there's been so many things along the way that, I mean, you only get better as you grow, as you learn, you only get better. Yeah, so before we kick straight in, I would just like to remind you guys that I have made some videos on this very channel that talk about different things, you know, cameras, gear, you know, some tips and tricks that help with this field. I've also made some tutorials about different, you know, situations. So if you haven't seen those videos, feel free to check them after this broadcast. Feel free to interact, ask questions, and then yeah, I'm always here. I'm glad to really help, maybe advise or share my thoughts and things like that. Right, so I think that's it for now. We are going to get straight into this. So the topic again is how to deal with clients. And I would really love to get at least a version of your experience. You can feel free to share your experiences, the kind of situation you, for example, had with a client, and how it turned out, or maybe share a challenge, or you know. So maybe I'll open with an icebreaker. I remember there's a particular client, there's a time, so they called me, you're available, I want to do a photo shoot. And we negotiated on the price. Yeah, the first process was smooth and all. And then we get to the day. I get in touch with the client. I ask them, okay, today is the day. We are doing the shoot. And things started to seem odd because we were starting to run late. She kept telling me, the next 1 hour I'll be ready. And then that hour elapsed. I checked on her, and it was the same story. You know, I've got things, this and that. I'm caught up. I'm sorry, but I'm coming. I was already at the venue waiting. So I think I waited for about 3 hours at the venue, like 3 hours from the agreed time. Yeah, we had really run out of time. I think we were left with just 1 hour because we had agreed to work for maximum 4 hours. And so the 3 hours elapsed. She was nowhere to be seen. Now I started to wonder, is this really going to happen? In fact, in my heart, I started to wish, I hope she doesn't come at all, so that this is a cancelled day, and that's it. But then, here she comes eventually, and the funny thing is, she came with a whole suitcase, full of clothes, because she wanted to change multiple times. Can you imagine? And then we started to shoot, but you know, the whole experience was different. My mood, I was just trying to keep on that, you know, I was trying to keep calm, like they say, to keep composed, but I was dying on the inside. It was crazy. So we did the first outfit, then she went to change. We were running out of daylight. It was almost night time. She went to change. She came back. We did other photos. And now, the thing is, we didn't really have enough time for each outfit because she was so engraved. She was so engraved in having her, in having her, in her. She was engraved having her all her outfits, yeah, to have photos of all the outfits. I think she had about seven different looks. So we would do like 1, 2, 3, 4 photos. It's like I'm running off to change. And let me tell you guys, we finished all the clothes. You probably were thinking we stopped along the way. Trust me, she didn't let me go. We shot, I think, almost up to 8 in the dark. Yeah, but of course, the thing is, the results were not as pleasant as maybe we would think. Yeah, the only probably beautiful photos we had was the very first look, and I think she ended up posting uh, her first look, because the other photos, as much as she had changed and all, they didn't come out as good, and also our mood was not okay. So I mean, that for me has been one of those experiences that I thought, and there was a lot more to it, but I just thought to break the ice with that. And I know many of you have had these kind of similar experiences. And I want us to open this discussion uh, in that pattern. So let me just read someone's comment here. Gems Fix, yes. You're saying, I actually love your work. I've been following you since now I bought camera, studio lights, but now I've been failing in pricing, but of course I can edit, even do videos. Right. I'm really glad that you've been following through. I'm really humbled, and I'm glad that at least this content is of value to you and other people. Honestly, I also feel good that there's people out there who are benefiting from this content. It really encourages me, pushes me to know that someone is learning, someone is growing, you know, and getting better. Yeah, I think I'm going to respond to this issue in a short while from now. Yeah, the challenge of pricing and interacting, and I think we who are within and give them the best. Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the issue of pricing, definitely we are going to talk about it because that is a big deal. Yeah, everyone has their perspective on pricing. I think let me dive straight into that, but maybe I'm going to give you guys an overview. So the business of photography, if someone asked the question, who is a professional? Like, there are those situations where a client will say, you're not professional, like what you're doing is not professional, you know. And so maybe some photographers ask themselves, who is a professional photographer? How am I supposed to be professional? What qualifies me to be professional? Yeah. And I think for me there's two things. The first, professional, being a professional, referring to you having the technical knowledge, the skills to do what you do. Or if you're a photographer, you have the technical ability, you have the skills, you have the skill set, you have the you know the knowledge to operate a camera, to compose the photos, to take the beautiful shots. You must possess that kind of knowledge. That is number one. Yeah, for you to consider yourself a professional. You may not have gone to school per se. Of course, when you go to school and learn that already qualifies you as a professional in that. But even if you didn't go to school, but you actually attain the skills, yeah, you have qualified, at least, especially in the creative world. But then the other aspect is to do with ethics, yeah, like business ethics, character, integrity, values. Yeah, let me actually use the word values. So if you are a professional, you must possess the skills, the knowledge, the technical skills and knowledge, and also have values. So a combination of those two things makes you a professional photographer. And I think if I'm to expound a little bit on that, in my own experience, um, I've realized that clients will want to work with a photographer who actually has invested more in their values than even one with just the skills. So of course the question of what is more important, I wouldn't say one is more important than the other, but rather both are very, very important areas or aspects to have. So if I'm a photographer who only knows how to shoot photos, edit, that's not enough. That's not professional enough. I should be able to talk to a client in a respectful way. I should be able to make my promise and deliver. I should be able to um, keep my word, basically. Have values. I should be responsible. I should be all those things. You understand? So, to respond to the question of who is a professional photographer, I think in the broad context, you should be able to, first of all, have the technical skills, and secondly, have values, good values, upright values. Yeah. You do not call a client and you're complaining on top of your voice. Or if a client is complaining, um, about maybe a picture that doesn't look so good to them, how do you respond? Yeah, how do you respond? How do you react if a photographer, if a client maybe is negotiating? Yeah, how do you negotiate? So I think that let that take me into the pricing, and I would like to hear some of your thoughts, guys. I'm seeing there's someone else who has joined us. Please, when you join in, kindly let us know who you are. You can say your name, you can type, yeah, you can type your name and where you're watching from. Yeah, that will really help me to connect with you better. And yeah, feel free to share your thoughts. So I think I've given an opener on professionalism, which is a question many people wonder. Of course, some of our clients actually may not really know who a professional photographer is. In fact, many clients, all they care about is service delivery. Like, have you given me the service? I want photos. Have you given me the photos? That's all they care about. But of course, for us, there's, you have to do things a certain way. You need to treat yourself a certain way. And of course, professionalism has so many things involved. It includes, your character. It includes your dressing. And by the way, you guys, I need to talk about this issue of dressing. I think many times photographers, or generally creatives, have a certain attitude towards dressing. Yeah, of course, we are free people, we are casual people many times, but then you need to be able to read the atmosphere. You should be able to read the environment. Yeah, your client, you need to understand these things, because if you fail to understand your clients, then you may not be able to get to certain places. And I've mentioned this in, I think, one of the videos. Like, if you want to elevate yourself uh, to shoot for certain clients, to get certain jobs, then you must elevate yourself to a certain level. If it means you putting on a tie for a particular job, do it. I am telling you guys, you'll be amazed. If it means you tucking in, do it. You lose nothing. Yeah, get a nice shoe. Hey, you guys, photographers here in Kampala, many are hustlers. Yeah, they just grab whatever shirt they can put on and run to the gig. And then you get there and you meet corporate people, and you even feel out of place, like, immediately. So I think I've not been in those situations a lot, or I would say I've not really been in a situation where I feel out of place because of how I'm dressing. Because I think from the word go, personally, I try to represent myself the best way. I put my best foot forward, because I see myself as a brand. I am a brand. You understand? So you, the photographer, you have to see yourself as a brand. You represent yourself. You represent your company. You represent a certain image. Yeah? So it means the way you look creates a first impression. If they call you for a meeting, a wedding meeting, I get called a lot in wedding meetings. I get called by people like, come, we have a wedding meeting, we want you to tell us about what you're going to offer and things like that. And trust me, even before they actually give you a deposit, or give you, well, maybe they've already given you the deposit, but before you even work for them, they are picking a first impression. The very first meeting you have with a client, they pick it up right away. Yeah, they pick on the little things you do, how you speak, how you negotiate, how you talk, how you carry yourself. All that is very important. So I think I don't want to do it so long, but my quick advice to you, photographer, especially if you're looking to rise, yeah, from this level to another level, the way you dress is very important. You need to know the clients you're going to see. I'm not saying put on a suit when you're going to a beach shoot, like a lakeside beach photo shoot, yeah, an outdoor somewhere. No, you need to judge accordingly. But I'm talking about those situations where you do not have a sense of judgment. You do not know what to wear on what occasion. If I'm called for a conference, I'm going to dress like I'm going for a conference. Yeah, I think that is really clear. That is clear enough, you guys, and I think it will really help, because that will quickly elevate, your brand and your identity, and how the client network works. People will keep connecting you to other clients, and people will say, oh, he's a responsible guy, he's a serious guy, he dresses well, he talks well, he's professional. They will use that a word professional. Yeah, so we are talking about pricing. I don't want to forget. I know that Jams Fix has yeah. So the issue of pricing, it really depends on a number of things. Yeah. Um, so how you price will depend on, first of all, okay, let me talk about three aspects. One is uh, the production cost. Yeah, how much it costs to produce what you have to produce. Also, labor, the labor in terms of how much would you work for. And maybe thirdly is your experience. Yeah. So you guys understand that when you're starting out, you cannot charge prices like someone who is already established. Yeah. I am connecting this question to Jams Fix. I hope I'm saying your name well. Yeah. Right. So you cannot charge the same way like someone who's already established. In fact, in one of the videos, I mentioned that when you're starting out and you're looking for clients, sometimes you even have to do free work. Free work helps you to, first of all, practice, get your skill together, explore to gain confidence, and also it helps you to build a portfolio. So if you're building a portfolio, you want to build it as quick as possible. So it means you can do free photo shoots, but that's a different case. But in a situation that you're now wanting to charge, you need to look at these areas. I think there's a lengthy video that I did where I hosted a photographer friend, and we had a discussion on this matter of pricing and all. There are different perspectives, yeah, don't get me wrong. But in my experience, you have to start small. As long as you're getting, even if it's a tiny bit of profit, yeah, you can agree and take it. Why? Over time, you will outgrow that amount. You will naturally feel that I have outgrown this money. I cannot be getting this same money for another whole year. You understand? So because photography prices, unlike commodities like buying soda may stay at the same price for even 5 years. Yeah, because the formula or the ingredients, the recipe to the Coca-Cola is not sponsoring this video, but I'm just using an example. The ingredients in Coca-Cola are not going to change for I don't know how many years. They are still the same. So it means they don't have the right to really change the price of Coca-Cola drastically. Do you understand? But then for you, your skill is getting better and better. You're upgrading your gear, you're buying new lights, you're upgrading the camera and all those things. So clearly, because of that production value that you have added into the business, you have to increase your pricing. Maybe to a question of what is fair pricing, what is fair to the client, and what is fair on your side. Because let's face it, the client wants to give you the lowest possible. They want to pay you the lowest possible they can pay you. Yeah. So when it comes to finding a sweet spot in negotiating, you're looking for that place where you're getting your profit and also the client feels fair, they've been treated fairly. And there's a threshold, let's say there's a limit to how far you can stretch a client. Even for them, they know there's a limit to how far they can try to stretch you downwards, trying to put you down on that price. So um, I would say a general rule of, of of pricing basically revolves around: look at your transport, yeah, look at your camera or camera, look at your skill. You can gauge if you compare your work, for example, with an artist that is already experienced and they have very good work, yeah, and your work is maybe a little closer to what they offer. You can have an idea and you can ask around other photographers, like, how much do you charge? How much do you charge for like a photo shoot? How much do you charge? How do you do? And I think, Jamie, that is Jam's Fix. Is it Fix or Fix? Yeah, that's the question you're trying to ask. Like, so clients many times want to look down on us. Yeah, maybe you tell them, I'm going to charge you 400,000 for this photo shoot, and they say, no way, no, there's no way I can give you all that money. For you, I can't pay you that money. They sometimes look down on us, but you see, that's part of the process, and that's where you need to up your game. The other things we talked about, like being professional, if you time and time again push yourself to improve yourself, eventually you become worthy of the money you ask for, yeah, or even more. Because there's that situation of boy, you're not like worthy the money you're asking for. You're asking for 400,000, but I think you deserve 200,000. Yeah, you understand? So you need to work your way upwards, not downwards. You need to work yourself upwards. Of course, you will see, you will also judge. We have different kind of clients. Please, if you've joined in, feel free to leave a message. Share, tell us where you're watching from. Please type in the chat section. Let us know where you're watching from. Yeah, and your name. I would love to connect with you. Right, so you need to try and upscale your work. You need to try and do the best. Yeah. What I discourage, and photographers, you have this issue a lot, and I would like to discourage this. Some of you, because you want to seemingly get more clients, you try to charge way low, and it's a big issue. You see, the problem with that is, first of all, you're devaluing your work. You're devaluing yourself. Yeah? Think of it this way. You buy a certain car, nice, really nice car. Very expensive, lavish, beautiful interior, expensive car. Let us say you bought it 100 million. 100 million. Yeah? Ugandan shillings. And then you want that car, you want to sell that car at 20 million. You bought it 100 million, you want to sell it 20. There's a problem, yeah, because everyone will wonder, why are you selling that car? there must be an issue, there must be a problem. So again, there's that theory of if I charge less, I'll get more clients. But then it will affect you in the long run. How? The kind of clients you will get are those low budget. I know we have our dear clients, do not be offended with this. But the thing is, low budget clients will always bring you low budget clients. And it's really easy because when you work for them, do some really nice work for them, they are going to tell the other friend, oh, I know a guy, he does this. Please, if you've joined in, feel free to let us know where you're watching from, your name and where you're watching from. Yeah, thank you for joining in. Just to recap, the topic today is how to deal with clients. So we are sharing different scenarios, experiences, and how to maneuver, how to, get this thing to the top. So I was still talking about the pricing bit of do not put your prices too low. In fact, my advice to you is you would rather put slightly high and let the client negotiate. Give them room to negotiate. If they negotiate, you get to a reasonable conclusion, a reasonable amount. Because the moment you charge already too low, and by the way, the psychology is, when you give someone a price, they always want lower. So even if you put your prices really low, someone is going to want to give you even less or lower. Yeah? And in a situation that you have very good work, like waka o mulungi, waka o watabu, then you're going to have so many people. You will have a jam pack of clients of that price because they have figured. The same way you figure out a place in town where you can eat nice food for less, that is the same way people will discover. Of course, it feels good in the start that you've got all these clients, you're getting jobs, but trust me, in the long run, you will be overwhelmed with the work and you will start now to perform badly. You will start to, I think I've experienced a bit of this situation. I'm talking about out of experience, where you have so many gigs around and you feel you get a burnout because you're shooting every now and then. Yes, the money is coming, but then it's also little money that the work you're offering is worth more than what you're being paid. I think I've made myself clear on that matter. So you guys, on the flip side, charge slightly higher so that even those clients, the low budget clients, will eliminate themselves automatically. Yeah? The clients don't want to hear these things. The day has come. Charge slightly higher so that these low budget clients will just cut themselves off. You understand? Say, that guy I can't afford. Now, like here in Uganda, we have some top photographers. I think I'm one of them, Well, anyway, not yet to the other, to some of those guys. I respect them. I respect creatives, by the way. And I know my place. I have a big vision. I have a big dream. But I also understand that I am still also at a certain level and I want to get there. So, a client will openly tell you, I can't afford that guy, he's expensive. They don't bother. And also the funny thing is, even the most expensive photographer has clients. Have you thought about that? Because for you, if you charge high, then you will lose all the clients. But jakuduka. But it's not the case. Yeah? If you charge higher, then you elevate also your clients. You will get those who pay higher, who can afford you, basically. Yeah? So that's for me the issue of pricing. Charge higher, you will get those eventually. You will keep, but remember, as you increase your price, it needs to correspond with the production value. What is a production value? What are you giving the clients? Are you just waiting for time to pass and you say, now I'm increasing, or you're actually improving the value that you're giving the clients? The value in terms of the experience you give them as you're serving them. And this is the same concept with also other service providers, whether decoration or music like PA system or any other service provider. But for photographers, it means your pictures need to be better. Your delivery time needs to be better. Yeah, that is also another area, guys. Your yeah, you need to be, again, professional. That's the word, that's the key word, professional, because I explained the bit. Guys, in case you're just joining in, please feel free to track back. If you just joined the stream now, you can just dial it back from where we started so you don't miss a thing. Yeah, otherwise, I really appreciate you for joining in this conversation. So let's continue. Yeah, your pricing, I think I'm going to conclude on this matter. Your pricing needs to correspond with the current state, with the current value of your work. So money or pricing versus the value, production value. How good are your pictures? If you want to know how good your photos are, yeah, you will get feedback. Always ask for feedback from clients. Ask them, what do you think of the photos? What do you think? And truth be told, when your work is good, you don't have to even ask questions or ask anyone. People will already tell you. You will get feedback. And again, we all have different styles. There's clients who prefer a certain style. Oh, and by the way, it gets me to talk about the bit of style. Oh, how could I forget? Style. I think many photographers who are starting out or who are still young in the industry struggle with style. No editing bino, no editing biri, no gezaako no color grade, no gezaako kino, no Mr. Playcolor is suitable to start both photography and graphic design business. BSE, all my professional. Oh, right. Mr. Lubega Gasta. I hope I mentioned your name right. Mr. Lubega Gasta, you're welcome. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, in case you've just joined in, you can track back and follow through the conversation. Yeah, we were just talking about pricing, but yeah, I think I'm moving on to the next bit. Thank you for your message. Yeah, wow, watching from Qatar, Doha. Thank you for tuning in. Please send my regards to all the photographers in Qatar. Yeah, if there are any that you know there. But thank you so much for tuning in. Right, so I'm talking about style. Yeah, you guys, style is a big deal because the style will attract a certain audience to you, will attract a certain client to you. Let me give you an example. We are like musicians. I think I mentioned this time and time again. If you've been watching my videos, you know I equate photographers to musicians. Musicians have different genres of styles: reggae, pop, Caribbean, kadongo kamu, lingala, country, folk, name it. There are so many styles. of music. The same way also in photography, there are many styles. Yeah, there are photographers who do different kind of styles. So you must have an identity. Photographer, I'm talking to you. Identity. I've for a long time, or I've been in through transitions, and all of us go through those transitions where your style keeps changing, evolving, growing. You add this, you keep adding spices of style until you get to your end game. Let me use that word, to your end game, to your style. And you're like, man, that guy has this style. Ekifaananyi kye kifaanana bwe kiti, alina style bweti. You understand? Yeah? So even your clients will begin to see this and say, I like that guy's style. So I think you've got these situations where there's a client, they call you and then they send you someone's Instagram page. They do a screenshot and then they're like, can you do a photo like this guy? Eh? There's this guy, he's called so and so. Do you see his photos? I want you to do photos like that. My brother, if you cannot attempt that person's style, I strongly advise, be honest with the client and tell them, you know what, that's a beautiful style, but I don't think I'm able. You style on the CG Sobola. Be honest with them, because you will mess things up, you will have a disappointed customer, and you don't want that to happen. So when you craft your style, clients that come to you who appreciate your style will already be satisfied. Do you understand? Like when a client comes to me and they've seen my work, the assumption is they've loved what I do, and in fact most times they will tell me, oh, I've seen your work, I've seen your work on here and there, or I saw your work you did, I saw your photo book in someone's home and I loved your work, I want you to work for me. I'm like, yeah, let's do it, why not? You understand? So already that saves you the hassle. But in a situation that you're asked to do another and you're able to pull it off, well and good. But maybe to dive in the issue of style, you should be open to learning, because we are creatives, and in the creative world there's no copying. Or you can't come and say, hey, you copied my style, you copied me. Or no, we learn together, we share. You understand? So feel free to learn by copying from the best or the better photographers. See their work and copy from them. Of course, it's not going to be as easy as you think. Like, if I ask you to sing like Justin Bieber, eh? Or if they asked you to sing like who? Name it, any artist. Like, you just can't go and sing like them. It's not easy, because they have they own the original touch. That's originality. It's their own style. So you also have to develop your style, but you can keep on copying, adding spice. You understand? Especially if you're growing, especially if you're at that stage of trying to discover your style. Eventually, when you get to what you feel is your style, be consistent. Be consistent, because clients appreciate that kind of consistency. Be consistent. Make sure that your work looks consistent, it looks the same. Don't have photos that look everything. Someone is looking through your gallery and all they see is all sorts of things. All they see is you've done this, you've tried that style, it becomes too much. I think if you want to try other styles, try them as experiment. Yeah, but you need to get to your style. That is the conclusion. You need to get to your style. That is how you attract a certain audience of clients. I hope that is really helpful to you guys. Yeah, the issue of style. So I am the other bit that I really want to talk about is and this goes back to the professionalism that we talked about, like some of the challenges we get with clients. I don't know if Jams Jams Fix is the name, Jams. Sorry, I have to. I wonder how I should call your name, but um, so the challenge you talked about of pricing, yeah. My challenge is pricing and interacting, and they think they we who are okay, like you solve the issue of pricing and clients undermining you by consistently giving your best. And by the way, you guys, let me encourage you, don't worry much. Sometimes a client will come, will go. They will come to you, initiate a conversation, they will initiate a negotiation and show you that they want you to serve them, and they will drop off. Yeah, that happens. Don't feel bad that maybe if I had told them a lower price, maybe they would have given me the job. Don't worry about those things. I'm telling you. Yeah, jobs will come. Jobs will eventually come. You just have to be consistent. You just have to keep pushing your craft. Yeah, jobs will eventually come. Yeah, I just want to talk about also the issue of like payment terms. Yeah, I don't know how you guys deal with payments or things like that. I would like to hear you. I would like to hear your thoughts, guys, on deal with payment. Yeah, clients depositing, paying. How do you deal with all those things? Yeah, because it's also another issue with clients. Yeah, so I think as you're thinking about it, I'll wait for you guys to say something. But um, in my experience, payment is one of the hardest things. I think just like any other job, payment is not so easy. There are naturally people who just don't want to pay, who are not good payers. And if you land on one, hey, hey, yeah, yes. I'll be honest. There are clients whose work I have seated here, and they've never taken it. I can't mention names, of course, but I have work seated around here, and I make reminders. I try to get in touch. My friends, it's a long story. So, but there's ways you can mitigate some of these issues. And you really have to be consistent with it. I think I've learned some lessons the hard way regarding payment. So that is how I came up to. In fact, I had an interaction with one of my photographer friends, and we were talking about this issue of payment. Like clients who don't want to pay, or who take long to pay, or who always giving excuses, things like that. And then the plan is, if you're doing a big job, yeah, if you're doing a big job like let's say some organization or whatever, you're going to have to do a contract, to have some kind of agreement, like payment terms and conditions, and it needs to be a written kind of agreement. Could be a contract, it could be what do they call those things, LPO, local purchase order, something like that. I'm not again too technical, by the way. Like the corporate world has its own language, but you must have some sort of agreement that this is what you're going to pay. You're going to pay it on this date or before this date. This is what you're going to receive. You're going to receive it on this date. As simple as that. It can be a verbal agreement, but you won't really trust a verbal agreement. And you must put certain conditions, like if the amount is not got on this date, you're not going to get this. Yeah. If your Gusta is asking, Lubega Gusta, you're asking how much is a photo printing machine and which type is best. Honestly, I need to do some research on that matter. I'm not so well conversant with. I would have to do some research on that for you. Unfortunately, I'm not so sure. Yeah, but I don't know which kind of printing you're talking about. Like, yes, photo printing, but I don't know which type of printing, because there's large format printing where people print billboards and things like that. Are you talking about that, or you're talking about small formats like printers on the desk and things like that? Because also those kind of printers vary. But I'll do some research on that. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think you can maybe send me an email and we can have a conversation. So guys, oh, I hope I've not forgotten what I was talking about. So it's really important, yeah, it's really important that that you have an agreement with your client, written agreement. If it's a small gig like bridal showers, birthdays, those ones, maybe you don't need a written agreement, but you can, even still, though you don't want to come off to they'll be like, this guy ngachi susa. On a photographer ngachi susiza. You don't want to come off like that. But if you're making an agreement, even if it's verbal or phone or physical, you need to emphasize that, look, now me, I'll give you an example. Me, I do not give you photos like these small parties, small birthdays, showers, photo shoot. I don't give you any photo if I don't have 100%. That's for me. You can deposit, that's okay. You can even deposit way early, that's all right. So you either give me the balance on the same day or earlier, or or any time that you feel you want to give me the balance. Yeah, but I don't give you any photo until you've cleared. You understand? That is for small parties like birthdays, showers, all those things. So I make sure my clients are well aware of that. So that, because you see, that is going to save you from, you shot a birthday, yeah, and you sent the photos to the client, and they've loved them, they are posting, they're even telling you, wow, these are beautiful photos. Bakuwani wanyawo. They even tell you, I'm going to get you more clients. End up putting every customer, you have very good work. But bro, the next thing, you're waiting for money to come through, and you're not seeing anything. You're like, hey, by the way, there's my balance. And she's like, now you see, can you tap me next week? Can you like get back to me next week? Can you tap me around next weekend? I've been in a lot of issues. I've had, our clients are usually ladies. Like, ladies are our biggest funders in this industry, by the way, because they appreciate photography, they appreciate art. I think they appreciate art more than men, naturally. women appreciate art more than men. Even when the art industry is full of men, yeah, it's the women who appreciate the art more. So, and they are telling you all these kind of stories. You see now, get back to me next week. And next week becomes next week until either you give up or you keep chasing. And that never ends. And you eventually, what will happen, you will be like, I'm cutting off this client. I don't want to hear anything to do with them. That's the worst case scenario. Yeah. Or you will be, it's never a good ending. So to save you all that, have your terms and conditions clear from the word go. That is my advice to you guys. Yeah. How you deal with clients in regards to that. And then there's also this issue of, yes, you've delivered, the client has paid you, and then a few moments later or one day later, they're like, these photos, banangi, they didn't come out so well. I don't like how, nga, my eyes are not clean, my teeth are not white. I think you guys have had those situations. Or my skin is ugly. Yeah, of course it's usually the ladies. I've never had a man client telling me, bro, the pictures are dark. No, 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 no. It's usually the ladies. And I think this was one of those conversations we had on the other. There's a photography forum I'm on with other photographers, and that is one of the things people were talking about, and we're having a blast about it. So, how do you react in such situations when a client is complaining about the quality of the work, yeah, or particular sections of the work you've delivered? If you're into video like filming and all that, then they tell you, now you see this video now, the colors look dull. Usually we need to also understand our clients have you guys are hearing me well. Someone is saying network. So please let me know if you can hear me well. Just if you can hear me well. I don't want to be here doing tricks for myself. Yeah. Please say something. If you can hear me well, I would really appreciate it. Okay. So this is working fine. But let me proceed. So professionally, yeah. But I think everything should be fine because it looks okay here. So to improve their work. I've been in and then a few moments later, or a few the dark, you need to talk well with them. You need to ask them. I usually ask, hey, what's the matter? What would you love me to improve? What can I? Because in that situation, you're or they're going to say that guy doesn't care. He has no customer care. In fact, customer care is the word there. Yeah, good customer care will sustain that client, will sustain that customer. I don't know if the network has an issue here, but please, I'm seeing there's one person connected right now, but just a moment. All right, I'm back. you guys can hear me. So the thing is, you need to nurse. I call it nursing your customers and all that. So you need to talk to them well. You need to explain. Sometimes the pictures are actually good in the real sense. Yeah, they are really nice photos. But then maybe the client, okay, I understand what you're saying, um, but also this is actually a good style, or this is over there. Sometimes, and they're like, hey, okay, let me ask someone and see. But of course, those are rare occasions. Most times, when a client telling them they want a better photo. Of course, they compare you with other photographers. Comparison is one big issue. But the first thing for you as the photographer to do is talk well with your client. Yeah. Um, oh boy. Mukdev, thank you for joining in. I don't know what's up with the network, guys, because things seem okay here, but I don't know whether I don't know what the matter is, honestly. Like, I don't know what the matter is, honestly. Uh, just 1 second. Let me check on this MiFi. Right, guys, I'm back. I don't know about the network. I really pray that it gets better. But let me just continue. We are almost coming to the end of this broadcast. So, but I just want to emphasize the bit of customer care. You need to nurse your clients' feelings. Your clients compare you a lot. Our clients compare us a lot with other guys. I got photos from, they will tell you, but the other guy did this for me. Can't you like edit me a certain way? Can't you? Those kind of situations. But again, it goes back to the other bit I told you. You need to have a style. If it's consistent, you won't have many of those issues, because you will tell your clients, look, this is the style I do. If you appreciate it, I'm gladly here to serve you. But if they fail, then they will move on. Though it's important that a client leaves on a good note, because you need to be honest with them. Tell them that, okay, look, I would love to serve you. I would love to give you this beautiful work. Yeah. But this is not my style. Or if you're actually able, if you do work and you feel you can improve the editing and what, then ask the client to give you some more time. Oteleze ibifanani, you improve the photos. And trust me, in most cases, when a client asks you to edit photos, in most cases, when you re-edit, they will be happy, because you have nursed their feelings. Their feelings of, I want him to edit them again. I want him to maybe improve them. Even if you've not done too much, they'll be happy. Yeah. And I like to say that a happy customer will bring you 10 more. All right. Yeah, a happy customer will bring you 10 more, will get you more what? More customers. So it's that's how it works. Yeah. Someone is asking me a question here. Between Windows laptops and MacBooks, what is the best and cheap in terms? What is the best and cheap in terms of Photoshop? Okay, in my experience, I have used Windows for the longest part. I can't really complain, because for me, it's about you having a machine that is capable. Yeah. I usually recommend having a PC, like a desktop, because desktops are more powerful. Okay, like, I don't know how to say this, but desktops have a more work, like the way you'd say horsepower, they will perform much more stronger, and you can easily upgrade and upgrade them. So yeah, for me, Windows is what I use, but I know that MacBooks are also quite effective. But again, it's not necessarily the brand. It goes down to the features in a particular machine. Machine ezimu ejja kwanguyiza omulimu because erina features entuufu. It has the RAM, it has the SSD, it has the graphics card. Now, like this PC that I use for my editing, I bought a graphics card. Yeah, so it is quite fast when it comes to processing graphics, because you need a machine that can run. That's why gaming PCs are usually the best option for editors. Gaming PC or gaming laptops, those are the best. But also the MacBooks have a series. There's a friend of mine who Linus hasn't joined us today, but he has so much information on the MacBooks, yeah, that section. But for me, my system requirements, minimum system requirements, I talked about in the last broadcast. Get an i5. I tried to Photoshop him. I tried Photoshop. Okay, I'm going to respond to that. So anyway, machine wise, you need oh yeah, okay, I get your question. It's you are not talking about machines per se. Okay, but anyway, for others who might want to benefit from this information, when you're buying a laptop or PC, have that in mind. 8 GB of RAM should be your minimum, your list. Yeah, but you can have more. And then you need to have an SSD in that machine. The SSD should run the Windows. That is a given, because that will help your machine process and run faster. Also, the CPU needs to be at least a recent generation. Don't get those very old generations, like first generation i7, fourth generation at least. Start from fourth generation. Even that one is old, but you can spice it up with the SSD, the RAM, and you have yourself a machine that is processing quite fast. If it's a PC, make sure you invest in a graphics card. That one I promise you. And especially if you are into video editing, you need a graphics card as a given. I know many creatives, you can start out as a photographer and then you become a hybrid shooter, like hybrid, where you do both video and photos. So you must, yeah. Okay, so your question, MOOC dev, I am. I'll be honest with you guys. Most of us here use cracked software. Yeah. Most of us here use cracked software. Very few guys actually here in Kampala. Very few guys. I don't know what Adobe will ever do for that matter, but many guys use cracked software. It's all over the place. So you just have to find the right guys and you get the software. That's all I can say, because the monthly payments, I'm not really sure about them. Yeah. I have Photoshop 2023, Lightroom, Movie Premiere Pro running smoothly on a laptop. Generation 6 and above. Yeah. Or this is Victor. Victor, thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know how long you've been watching, but thanks for joining. Is Mark crackable? Yeah, there's come on. There's a lot of cracked software from MacBooks. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I think usually when I was many years ago, we used to have a guy who would say, if you have any cracked software, just don't go online. Make sure you don't go online. Always work offline so that you don't get any issues of now they are trying to find your IP address and things like that. I think it's still a tactic that many people use, but it depends. If your machine, you use it for everything, then of course you can't avoid being online. But also, if you know you have like that cracked software, then you can take that advice. Yeah, just work offline whenever you're doing your work, and you'll be just fine. Yeah, I think, but there's a lot of software nowadays. You just have to get hooked to the right people, but software is all over the place. You, of course, you buy it from the people who distribute pirates. But this is Africa. It's full of pirates and all, like music, what, everything. Yeah, but I think that is helpful information. So I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those who have managed to be a part of this broadcast, I really, really thank you. I appreciate you giving me this time for us to interact. Honestly, I would love for these interactions to even become more like physical, where we can meet up. I don't know when, but for now, at least I'm glad that you guys are there and you appreciate this content. You appreciate these videos that I create for you. Yeah, and my goal really is to connect and grow together as creatives. Yeah, I'm based here in Kampala, Uganda, and of course I want to connect with more and more photographers, even here in Uganda and even uh, on the globe. So feel free to always check in, share your thoughts, leave a comment in the videos. I am always trying to respond to all the comments. I actually respond to all comments from people. If you have any questions, because sometimes this is how I get ideas on what to talk about the next video. So do not withhold any comments or any thoughts. Share them so that we can talk about them. But as far as dealing with clients is concerned, for me, I feel those are some of the areas that we have to work on. Be professional. I think, this video has explained the bit of professionalism and improve your work. Get better and better, grow your craft. Again, you guys, it doesn't matter which camera you use or which tools you use. Your brain has it all. Your brain is what creates. A good camera can take terrible photos because the photographer is not creative, and a bad camera can take excellent photos because the photographer is creative. So keep shooting, keep working, don't give up, just keep pushing, guys. That's all I can say. And the sky is the limit. There's a lot that we can achieve. And it's so interesting that in a period of just 1 year, you can make so much progress, and you do so well, and beautiful things begin to happen, to come through. And so just keep working. Mukdev, I remember you told me you had a 5D Mark III. You were considering it. Did you buy it? Yeah, I think you mentioned you bought it. It's a very powerful camera. It's been tried and proven. So no excuses. Go and shoot. Go and work. Yeah. At some day in the future, I have already bought it. Oh, great. Yeah, it's a great camera. No excuses. Genda okole man. Genda okole sente. Bebifananyi. Yeah, I know that in the later time you will want to upgrade, but make sure before you make your upgrade, camera or utilizing, you've squeezed all the juice out of it. You see this camera here. This is a 70D. 70% of my work was done by this camera. It died. It's died, unfortunately. The motherboard, I don't know what I will ever do, but I would love to see it working again. They told me I have to get another motherboard for it. That's a long story, but for now I just like put it here in the gallery, like the museum. But whichever tool you have, use it to do the best. There's no excuses. I know some of us, we always say, I don't have this camera, excuses and blah blah blah. Those are so many excuses. Just go out and shoot and practice, improve your work, and clients will come running to you. By the way, you will get to that point when clients keep calling in, and even if you're charging higher, they will keep coming. They will keep coming. So, unless there's one more question, I want to close this broadcast. If there's just one more question that someone has, I can respond to that, and we call this a broadcast, guys. Yeah. You can ask anything. You can ask anything. Please type. I want to buy speed light next. What's the recommendation? Hey, you guy, do you know I did the other time? It means you didn't watch the other video. You didn't watch the other broadcast, you guy. Because I talked about that speed light. I spent like 10 minutes talking about one speed light. You didn't watch it, you need to watch. But anyway, it's called a V860 Mark II Godox. Godox V860 Mark II. That is the speed light I recommend. It costs about 750,000. That is what I bought it like 3 years ago. It should be. Funny thing, sometimes these things you think after time their prices will go down, but my friend, in Kampala, something can be at the same price for 10 years, and you're like, what's going on? Yeah, so it's about that price. Yes, Godox V860 Mark II. That is a speed light you should buy. Yeah, you will be happy you did, because it can work as a trigger. It can trigger other speed lights or strobes, and it has a good battery. There's other similar speed lights to it, like the V850, the one which came before it. Then there's one that came after, the V1, the Godox V1 flash. But then the problem with the V1, I wouldn't call it like really a problem. It's also nice, but the its battery design changed. So for people now like me, the battery, if I already have my batteries, I have two batteries with a V860 Mark II. I wouldn't want to go to buy a V1 because I want to maintain my batteries. I want to still use them. So I buy a flash that can take that same battery. You have, bala into, you have to be very calculative in that matter. So yeah, that's the thing. The V1 is also good. I think the V1 shares a battery with there's a certain strobe. You guys, by the way, before you invest in lights, you need to do your research well, because some of these smaller strobes zirina amanda agafaanana speedlight ezimu, the batteries so you need to be keen on that, so that in case you're going to buy a strobe, you're like, hey, okay, this one shares a battery, so it becomes eco-friendly. Do you understand? The same way you have the 6D, the LPE6 batteries shared by so many cameras. So you don't want to buy a camera that has batteries that are different. I think that one I've explained. Yeah, so that guy, I don't know if I have people about Uganda one. I saw Lubega, I don't know if you're still on, but I'm really glad that you joined. Currently I'm seeing only 2 people on the broadcast. Mukdev, thank you so much for tuning in. Victor, I don't know where you're watching me from, but I would love to know where you're watching from. But thank you so much for joining the broadcast. I'm glad. Mr. Gasta Lubega, thank you so much for joining this broadcast. I'm glad. And Jam Fix, Jams Fix, bro, your name, your name is a bit tricky, but yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today. Yeah. Hey, Mukdev, you're also in Qatar. Wow. I thought you're here in Kampala. You guy. Naye church ye Qatar. Church liyo nga muddukiddeeyo. Anyway, it's been good catching up with you guys. It's about time. Yeah. I wish you guys join in like early so we can, catch up a little. But that is the issue that we have discussed today. And I hope to catch you guys in the next broadcast. I need to go and prepare dinner. Sawa ya kufumba. Ogenda mfumbe. Yeah. Right. If there are any other questions, please, Mujab, you put the questions in the comment section, and I'll be responding them in the next broadcast. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good night. And some people will be watching this stream during this, so I can't say good night. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.